Good morning, children. Welcome to 10th Standard English class. Poem 5 The Secret of the Machines, written by Rudyard Kipling. This is the memory poem for you. First, let me tell you about the poet. Rudyard Kipling was born on December 30th, 1865 in Bombay, India. He was educated in England but returned to India in 1882. A decade later, Kipling married Caroline Balestier and settled in Brattleboro, Vermont, where he wrote The Jungle Book in 1894. Among a host of other works that made him hugely successful, Kipling was the recipient of the 1907 Nobel Prize in Literature. He died in 1936. The poem deals with the problem of modern technology and automation. In the beginning, the reader gets informed about how machines are produced and what kind of treatment they need. Afterwards, the machines explain how they can serve humanity. The poem ends with a statement that machines, although capable of great deeds it is actions, are still nothing more than creations of the human brain. Let us see the explanation of the first paragraph. We were taken from the ore bed and the mine. We were melted in the furnace and the pit. We were cast and wrought and hammered to design. We were cut and filed and tooled and gauged to fit. Machines in this poem speak to human beings about themselves. They tell us how the metals are created that are taken from the ore bed. That is, the raw materials are obtained from the earth and they undergo several processes to become a tool. They are melted in the furnace and hammered to make equipment for construction. Let me read out the second para. Some water, coal, and oil is all we ask, and a thousandth of an inch to give us play. And now, if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 24 hours a day. Machines also discuss their credibility to work for 24 hours a day. Unlike humans, they do not need any break. If provided with water, coal, and oil, they can work constantly without stopping. They are happy to help us 24 hours a day. They can do all kind of work similar to human beings. Third paragraph. We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We can print and plow and weave and heat and light. We can run and race and swim and fly and dive. We can see and hear and count and read and write. This stanza describes a number of tasks that the machines can perform for us. They can pull, drag, push, lift, and drive. They can also print, plow, weave, heat, and light. Further, they can run, race, swim, fly, and dive. They can also see, hear, count, read, and write. Earlier, all these tasks were done by humans, but with the advancement of technology, machines have gradually taken them over. Fourth stanza. But remember, please, the law by which we live. We are not built to comprehend a lie. We can neither love nor pity nor forgive. If you make a slip in handling us, you die. They also warn us that they work according to the laws of physics. They reveal a blunt reality that they don't love or forgive and cannot recognize a lie. Unlike humans, they do not have any emotions. If treated carelessly, we would die. Though our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes, it will vanish and the stars will shine again. Because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. By Rudyard Kipling. Smoke may hide the heaven from our eyes, but once the smoke disappears, we could see the stars shining in the sky. Machines have power and weight and size, but they conclude stating the fact that they are nothing but the creations of the human brain. Let me tell you the meaning for the following words. Ore bed, place in the earth where minerals are found. Furnace, hearth, fireplace. Wrought, beaten and shaped. Gauged, measured exactly. Give us play, give space to move. Thousand, a fraction of thousand. Haul, it means pull or drag with effort or force. Comprehend, grasp, otherwise understand. Vanish, it means disappear. Let me give a short recapitulation of this poem, The Secret of Machines. The poem, The Secret of Machines, deals with the problems of modern technology and automation. In the beginning, the poet informs about how the machines are produced and what kind of treatment they need. Afterwards, in the second and third stanzas, the machines explain how they can serve humanity. In the fourth and fifth stanza, machines are not only useful, they can also lead to big disasters if they aren't used in a right way. The poem ends with a statement that machines, although capable of great deeds, are still nothing more than the creation of the human brain. Thank you, my dear students. I hope you understood this poem.